Hello, Sejan.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, sir.
Hey, good to see you all, family.
Sounds good. So the floor is yours. Please take it away.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarjan from Agamin. Most of you will know me, but if some of you don't, then we are a startup based out of India and we built on Handshake. So 30 minutes. I've got about three things to show, so I'm just going to fire away. So we've had a little rebranding of our service. How do I share the screen? Can I share screen or do I have to share the PPT?
You should be able to share screen, present content, I believe is what the button says.
Excellent. Present.
Or is it?
Okay. I have to use the share option actually.
Share. Sorry.
Yeah, got that. All right, guys. So we've rebranded from agamin.in to agamin.com to become more relevant. And this is what the new site looks like. We've had a designer go through the whole thing. We have a different menu and we'll be adding more TLDs. And that's where we are at. One of the new interesting things we've come up with is a fully vernacular website. This is Hindi. We'll be doing it in other languages as well. So you'll see the government of India allows legacy domain names in vernacular scripts as well. But we don't have too many registrars who sell them. So it took us a while to get one. But we finally did manage to get that domain name. And the whole thing is just now in vernacular. So the average guy who does not understand English does not really need to know anything. He can start right from the domain name to everything will just happen in vernacular. Even the support email IDs, we are working on getting one in vernacular and we'll have that. And we'll move that out in all languages. I also have hns.bio and we wondered if we want to rebrand from Agamin to hns.bio, but since there is already an hns.id, we don't want to have a clash like that and we're pretty appreciative of what hns.id does. So I'm happy to hear from the community on that. And of course, the moment you buy a domain name with us, it comes with a link in bio that looks just like this. And you can link it to your Calendly. You can link it to your online consulting. You can pretty much do what you want. Of course, the whole thing is centralized as of now, but we are working on trying to decentralize it. But it'll take a while because the UI for decentralized system, at least as far as I'm concerned, still requires much to be desired. But that's where we're at. So that's the registry bit. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware of it. We have something called an Aadhaar system in India. This is similar to a social security number system in US and many other countries that may have a similar social security system. It's been around for a while. Government has now allowed private entities to use it to actually sign in. So we've built a handshake name layer on top of it. So instead of actually using your Aadhaar number, which is like a 14-digit number and people often don't remember, you can simply use your handshake name. I'm just going to give you I'll try and give you a quick demo. I just hope I have the network here. All right. So I am known as Sergeant.bh3. I'm going to be sharing my private details over here. That is a pretty secure system and I'm trusting the community here. It pulls my Aadhaar number. That's my 14-digit number. Now I should expect an OTP from the government database. Not our own database, government database. That's here. There, we've got that. 964. There. I look like a complete criminal. All my data is out here. So this is something you can use essentially. Wait, stop sharing. Yeah, so this system can be used with any digital identity system. While it is optimized to work with Aadhaar, which is the Indian one, it can also work with other identity systems like Emirates ID or any other identity system that works with an OTP, email or mobile based. And there are quite a few countries around the world, at least in Asia, that are at least working on or have a similar system. Middle Eastern countries already have that. India has that. South Asian countries have that. And I believe quite a few in the West are also working with that. We also have a payment system called UPI. And this works with that as well. So instead of you having to share out UPI is a fiat bank-to-bank transfer system that works in India. and you can use a similar system there. And we'll be outsourcing the whole build out there. So that what happened? Okay, I seem to be having some issues here. Doesn't matter. So it works pretty similar to this. You put in your smart name and then it asks for an OTP and then you feed in the amount and then you're able to finally get that done. We'll be outsourcing that and we'll be putting the code out there. So if people want to optimize it for digital identity systems in their own countries, they should be able to easily do this. And now the third bit. Now we had been working on a social media app. We had reached out to the government for a grant and the government gave us that grant and now we've started working on it. So we are building a social media app. It's pretty much like a LinkedIn for top colleges. So we have all the TLDs for top colleges and we've started building registries individually for each of those colleges, and students and alumni of those colleges exclusively can now join this social media app. It's a closed ecosystem. It's not open to everybody. Only students and alumni of that college can come. And they can obviously then use it to network and stuff. The ecosystem in India is kind of, especially the startup space, is kind of really growing at an exponential rate. And we saw that as an opportunity to kind of have Handshake grow there. So while I don't have an Android simulator, I can't show the app, but I did get the screens, so I should be able to show you that. So let me just do that. So the app is called Ivy. So you log in by just putting in your Handshake name. You verify with your college email ID so that we know that you are indeed from that college. You'll have to verify it with an OTP. And once you do that, we will tell you whether you're eligible for a Handshake name on the TLD of that particular college. Like once you're able to say verify you're from Harvard, then we'll tell you whether you're eligible to have a name on .harvard. Once you are, you can get one name for free, and if you want more names, then you'll have to pay for it. You can put in your education, core specialization, key skills, all of that stuff, and it's essentially a LinkedIn, but a closed ecosystem LinkedIn for people from specific colleges and institutions. Now you'd see Noster keys here. So we are building in a Noster client into it. The version 1 probably won't have it because while it's not very hard to build in a Noster client, when you get into the woods, there are some limitations with respect to the user interface. It's not very, very user friendly, especially when it comes to uploading of images and heavy data, or even doing action without signing a transaction, which is not very UI friendly. So the first version probably won't have it until we are able to sort out these little issues. So that's there. We also have a more generic version, which I will be putting out for the community. So if others want to build something, you can just take it and re-optimize it for your own social media applications. Just give me a second. It should load. Yeah, this is the white version. We initially thought of a dark mode, but then we decided we'll probably go with dark as the default. So this is for a guy who's coming back. If you already have a name, you can just straight away go through. If you don't, then you can get yourself a name, and it's pretty much what I shared. So we'll put this out in open source, and if anybody in the community wants to use it to build their own little stuff, they can. They're free to do so. So yeah, I seems like I went through much quicker than I expected. So that's pretty much it. 3 of our products that we've just rolled out. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take it. Yeah, thank you. A lot of our work is probably not visible to the international audience because it's very India specific. But I feel that at least in India, and given the scale of population we have, 1 billion plus, trying to create ecosystems that are user friendly and directly and immediately usable to people with a tangible benefit is a better route to go. And because in our country we've found some traction with the government, the fact that they are willing to incubate us and give us a grant, knowing fully well that we are actually building on like a Bitcoin of domains, that's encouraging. So we've decided to go down that path.
Yeah. Also, you continue targeting the student demographic, which is very wise for adoption, right?
Yes,
Part of-
yes, yes. In fact, there's one more. I don't have anything to show for it because it's still WIP. We've taken a proposal to the government. Now, India, about 10% of India's population is a tribal population. They have scripts and languages that don't really have any representation in the standard internet, whether it is in terms of content or whether in terms of domain or anything. Handshake, however, did give them representation. So Handshake supports those scripts only because Unicode support is there. So I don't think it's probably intentional, but it's unintentional. The architecture is just beautiful. While they couldn't find support anywhere in the world, Handshake had that support. So we were able to get those TLDs, and we went to the government and said, hey, this fulfills one of United Nations sustainable goals in terms of spreading digital literacy. And that's 10% of India's population. That's 100 million people. And we could create an internet ecosystem starting right from domains to email IDs. And we already have that LinkedIn system. So, LinkedIn bio system. So it could give that, and it could literally empower these people. And then the government is really excited about it because it's not just about empowering internally. It also fulfills a significant political objective. Once you do something like this, they hope that all of these people will eventually vote for them. So that's also something on the cards. And if it does happen, that is going to be a significant news because empowering 100 million people in one go, I am not sure there are too many decentralized protocols that have done something like that. That's just going to shoot us right up to the top. So that's happening. That's also under discussions, and we're kind of figuring out how much monies it will cost and stuff like that. So yeah, that's also on the cards there. So that's for stuff, and I'm good to go. Any questions? Otherwise, I think we can.
Looks like we have two in the Q&A. I think these are from this presentation. What did the process look like to add the link in bio feature automatically like that? That's quite an enticing perk for new domain purchases.
When you say what did the process, are you asking a technical question? Because then I'll have to ask my techie. I can't really answer that question. But as of now, if you buy a domain, you just have it automatically. You don't have to do anything. We have a section in our website. I'll see if I can just log back in and show you guys so that. Give me a second. Since we have about 10 minutes left, I think I'll just take you guys through it. Okay, let me just share my screen. So once you log in, this is what you see basically. And let's say if you go to domains, let me just pick mine so that, yeah. So if you go to domains, get bio link, you can go directly here and you can just start adding stuff. You can add your data here. If you have any custom links, then you can add those custom links. You can add a favicon or something like that if you want. If it's social links, they're just pre-added. You can simply enable them and just put in your individual links and it should just work right out of the box. Setting, we still haven't worked too much. It's just there as a placeholder, pretty shitty ones. So right now I just stick with the default. Maybe black also works, but the rest of them are just placeholders. We are working on a few interesting designs so that we can give our users some options. So it's just seamlessly integrated. Even if you take the vernacular one, but the link in bio is still in English. Even for the vernacular one, we are working on converting that as well into fully into vernacular. So yeah, that's where we are. Actually, let me just take a look at how well does the vernacular stack up. Yeah, the link in bio bit is still not converted into vernacular. So yeah, that's still left. But yeah, that's how it works. Any chance of developing, sharing, creating cross-registrar services with Namebase? I am happy to explore it. I have had reached out before to Namebase, but I haven't really heard from them. Our solution is currently centralized, so I don't know if it will be able to work with HNS.id, but it should ideally work with the early tree that they've had, which was more closer to, I think, the one that is integrated on Namecheap. So that should be possible, at least technically possible. Rest is it's a matter of policy. So yeah, we're open to it. We'd love to. So that their TLDs are available on our registrar and our TLDs are available on their registrar. Just like the legacy works, right? .com is available across So similarly, I definitely would urge for an ecosystem where all TLDs are available everywhere. So the registry gains irrespective, because at the end there will be revenue for whoever owns the TLD. But the marketing is outsourced. Like an entity sitting in US might be hard pressed to market it in, say, Japan or in India. In fact, that was the reason why a registry and a registrar was separated in the legacy internet. Today, we are a hyper-connected world, and it may not look like it. Like maybe a Namecheap can market in Japan, or a GoDaddy can go to Africa. It doesn't matter. But in the 80s, when they started out, and probably you could only communicate via newspapers and television, marketing was a bit of a challenge. So that's how they had registrars. They thought local players could do this marketing while VeriSign could sit in the US. So yes, today international marketing is easier, but yes, you could have local players who could have niche spaces, and industry could do that. So
very cool. All right. Well, we'll have Alec from Namebase presenting tomorrow. Maybe we can grab some time at one of the tables and see what's available.
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
I think we're good. I think it's time. So thanks everybody, and good to see all of you. It's been a pleasure, and 3 cheers to Handshake. We will go on.
This event wouldn't be possible without our amazing sponsors. Our bronze sponsors, D-Web Foundation, .x, our community sponsors, Handshake Australia, Namebase, Decentralizers, HNS.market. Thank you for your support in building a decentralized future.